The world is not controlled by the most intelligent people. It is not ruled by the kindest individuals, the most talented creators, or even the hardest workers. If you take a moment and truly observe the world around you, you will notice something different. The people who sit at the top, the ones who command attention, influence decisions, and control resources, operate using a completely different mindset. Since childhood, you have been told that intelligence is measured by your IQ, your memory, or how well you solve academic problems. But that narrative serves a purpose. It keeps the system running. It keeps people productive and obedient. Real power, however, relies on something very different, a form of perception we could call dark intelligence. Dark intelligence is not about being cool or evil. It is about understanding the hidden patterns in human behavior. It is about recognizing what people truly mean when they say nothing at all. It is the ability to detach yourself from the desperate need to be liked and instead take control of the environment around you. Most people drift through life on autopilot. They react emotionally to situations they do not fully understand. They are influenced by forces they cannot see. They believe they are in control, but in reality they are simply pieces on a board, pawns who think they are the players. If you have ever felt like others are always one step ahead of you, if it feels like everyone else knows the rules of the game while you are still trying to understand them, then listen carefully. This conversation is not about morality, it is about survival. Niccolo Machiavelli was often painted as a villain, but in truth he was something else entirely, a realist. In a world full of naive optimism, he simply described how power actually works. He understood that the difference between how we wish people behaved and how they truly behave is exactly where most people lose. For most of your life, you have probably tried to do the right thing. You tried to be honest, transparent, fair. You tried to be understood. And what did that effort often lead to? Exhaustion, betrayal, being overlooked while less capable people climb higher. That cycle ends now. In the next few minutes, you will be introduced to 9 principles of dark intelligence. These are not motivational slogans or positive affirmations. They are psychological tools designed to help you recognize manipulation, protect your independence, and build a mind that cannot easily be controlled. But there is a warning. Once you start seeing the patterns, you cannot unsee them. You will begin to notice the subtle games in your relationships. You will see power dynamics in the workplace that once seemed invisible. You may even recognize weaknesses within yourself that were previously hidden. If you are not ready to let go of the part of yourself that constantly plays a victim, this is a moment to stop listening. But if you are ready to see the world for what it truly is, then welcome to the desert of the Real. Law 1. Selective silence. Most people speak because they are uncomfortable with silence. They feel the need to fill empty space with words. Silence forces them to face their own thoughts, and that can be unsettling. So they talk and talk and talk. They explain too much. They reveal too much. They expose their thoughts to anyone who is willing to listen. And by doing so, they become predictable. Predictability is weakness. Dark intelligence begins when you stop using words to gain approval and start using them with precision. Machiavelli understood that the quietest person in the room often holds the most power. The reason is simple. Information is a form of currency. Every time you speak, you are spending it. Every time you listen, you are collecting it. Think about the last time someone truly intimidated you. It was probably not the loudest person in the room making threats or raising their voice. More likely, it was a person who sat calmly, observing everything without speaking. Silence creates tension, and human nature dislikes empty space. When you remain quiet, other people feel compelled to fill that space themselves. They begin revealing their thoughts, their insecurities, and their intentions. In their attempt to break the silence, they hand you the very information you need to understand them. So stop over-explaining yourself. Stop defending every decision. Stop offering opinions before anyone even asks for them. Instead, become an observer. Absorb information. Reveal very little. When people cannot clearly read your position, they cannot easily form a strategy against you. They become cautious, curious, sometimes even nervous. Silence is not merely the absence of sound. Silence is control. Law 2. Strategic Amorality. Many people see the world through a simple moral lens, right or wrong, fair or unfair, good or bad. But reality rarely follows such neat categories. The Machiavellian mindset does not ask whether something is morally good or morally bad. It asks a different question. Is it effective or ineffective? Consider nature. When a predator hunts its prey, we do not call it evil. It is simply survival. When a storm destroys a building, we do not call it malicious. It is simply nature. Much of human suffering comes from expecting the world to behave according to our personal moral expectations. When someone betrays you, the emotional reaction is outrage. They should not have done that. But dark intelligence shifts the perspective. Instead of reacting emotionally, it analyzes a situation. Why did they act that way? What did they gain? What leverage did they have? And how can that leverage be neutralized? This approach is called strategic amorality. It does not mean abandoning ethics entirely. It simply means refusing to let your moral expectations blind you to reality. A kind person without power is not necessarily virtuous. Sometimes they are simply vulnerable. Law 3. Controlled vulnerability. There is a common misunderstanding about strategic thinkers. Many imagine them as cold, distant individuals who never reveal emotion. In reality, that is a beginner's mistake. If you appear completely flawless or invulnerable, people begin to envy you, and envy often creates enemies. The solution is controlled vulnerability. You intentionally reveal small, harmless imperfections. Perhaps you joke about being terrible with technology. Perhaps you share a minor embarrassing moment from your past. These tiny admissions create relatability. Psychologists sometimes refer to this as a Ben Franklin effect. When people help you or see a weakness in you, they often feel closer to you. Their guard lowers. They believe they understand you. And while they are comfortable with the small flaws you have shown them, they remain unaware of your deepest strengths and intentions. You appear human, approachable, harmless, but the core of who you are remains protected. Never expose your most critical weaknesses, but occasionally showing a scratch makes others believe they have seen your whole armor. Law 4. The mirror principle. Modern society is deeply narcissistic. Most people are absorbed in their own stories. They see themselves as a central character of their personal movie. A common mistake is trying to compete for attention within that story. Instead of trying to outshine them, become a mirror, reflect their emotions, match their energy, subtly adopt their language patterns or posture. When someone feels mirrored, a psychological shift occurs. They feel understood, and because they like themselves, they begin to like you as well. While they are enjoying that connection, you are quietly observing, learning their motivations, identifying their values. The mirror does not dominate the conversation. It simply reflects. Law 5. Outcome independence. Anxiety often comes from attachment. You want the promotion. You want the relationship. You want recognition. And the stronger that desire becomes, the more obvious your desperation appears. Desperation signals scarcity, and scarcity repels people. True influence comes from outcome independence. You work toward your goals. You prepare carefully, but you also accept the possibility that the outcome might not go your way. And if it does not, you remain stable. This mindset creates power. The person who can walk away from the negotiation table often holds the strongest position. Fear of loss is one of the easiest ways to control someone. Remove that fear, and you become far more difficult to manipulate. Law 6. The useful enemy. Many people dream of a life without conflict, but conflict is often the catalyst for growth. An opponent forces you to sharpen your thinking. They expose weaknesses you might otherwise ignore. Throughout history, rivalries have produced extraordinary results. Competition fuels improvement. Instead of fearing opposition, use it. Let criticism strengthen your discipline. Let doubt sharpen your focus. Sometimes an enemy is exactly what pushes you to become stronger. Law 7. The persona. Most people believe they have one fixed identity. But in reality, every person already adapts their behavior depending on the situation. You behave differently with family than with co-workers. Dark intelligence recognizes this flexibility and uses it intentionally. Different environments require different personas. Authority in one moment, warmth in another, strategy in another. This is not deception. It is adaptability. Law 8. Necessary suspicion. Naivety often comes from assuming others think the same way you do. But every person ultimately acts in their own interest. This does not mean you must become paranoid. It simply means you observe actions more carefully than words. Promises are easy. Behavior reveals the truth. Law 9. The shadow. Every human being carries a darker side: anger, ambition, the capacity for manipulation. Ignoring that side does not eliminate it. In fact, repression often allows it to control you unconsciously. True self-mastery requires acknowledging your shadow, understanding it, and choosing how it will be used. A person who is capable of strength but chooses restraint possesses real control. Final thought. These 9 principles are not a checklist. They are a lens. Once you understand them, the world begins to look different. Conversations reveal hidden motives. Power dynamics become visible. You are no longer drifting blindly through the psychological battlefield of human interaction. You are awake, and once you are awake, there is no going back. Welcome to the deeper layers of the game.